What's going on, War Report family? It's your boy C-Dub. We are at the half. Auburn down 14-35. Let's get this halftime show started. As always, we appreciate you guys supporting us because you are here watching this with us, guys. We also want you to support us by our sponsor. So please be sure to head over to Prize Picks, use code RAPPORT, where they'll give you 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. We definitely want to show love to Prize Picks for being a sponsor of today's game day experience. Guys, we're at the half. Auburn down 14-35. I'm hearing noises right now.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Yeah. B, how you feeling?
I saw some opportunity there, So we will not win by a 23-20 margin, that is for sure. Shut up, Mike. There was opportunity, though. There was opportunity. I like what we've done. On some occasions, we've shot ourselves in the foot. On other occasions, the rest have shot us in the foot. And we've also, defensively, the effort hasn't been what we needed. Losing bodies, having some guys out there, Gimpy off of last week, but also getting hurt, like 3, 4, guys who play on your front getting hurt. I mean, we're not going to hold up. We weren't good enough on our front for us to be able to sustain those types of injuries and still be able to execute the game plan. So I've seen the effort. I've seen the attempt. I've seen the strategy there. We just may be too short on horses to pull this off. And that may just be what the game is today. But nobody's quitting. And I love that. I love to see the fight, the competitiveness. So of course, you're not going to be thrilled about being down 21.5, but I see how we got here. I see how it happened. And of course, we're going to talk about refs. But you always got to beat Alabama and the Stripes too when you play them. That's nothing new. So it's about what I expected in that sense.
Instant thoughts, Mike G.
The refs are screwing us. I'll be the one to say it. This is terrible. We're already in Tuscaloosa, right? It was already going to be a tough game. The missed call on the Keontae Scott, it was clear as day. The only thing you could kind of say was that there wasn't sufficient video evidence to overturn, but from both angles, it was pretty clear he didn't touch it, and he was confident. He was confident
he
that
didn't
he didn't
look
touch
back
it.
to see.
Yeah, he took all of his. I didn't touch it. What are they doing? That's plus 7 points right there. So in the missed holding call, listen, Auburn has done some things to shoot themselves in the foot in this first half. The 5 false starts, good God. I don't even know what to say about that. It's all of them, right? The fumble by Jarquez Hunter, you can't turn the ball over on the road. You just can't. I'm not even sure that turned into points for Bama, though. They did? Okay, did. Well, so there you go. Right? So between the fumble and the blown call on the punt return, man, that's your 14-point swing right there.
Right.
So this game, listen, Robbie Ashford is having himself a game. And he's doing what he can out there.
He's playing well.
Yeah,
he's doing what you're asking him to do.
Right. Throw the ball away when it's not there. Don't make a bunch of silly plays. So he's having a game. If you followed along with our prize picks in the pregame, our Robbie Ashford rushing prop hit almost immediately. Exactly like I said it would. 25-yarder, and then a couple plays after that, he had the 40 yards rushing that we needed there. They've got to find a way to get Tank going. Auburn's got 133 yards on the ground in this game.
He's doing well when he gets the ball. Actually, we're doing really well on the ground. We got a 3-headed monster in our rushing attack right now.
Right, for sure. So Alabama is 84 yards rushing in this game.
Yeah.
And then lastly, our D-line. Yikes. Man, you can't let Bryce Young just sit back there. There's no gap integrity. It doesn't look good. That's probably the biggest weakness I've seen on this team so far through 2 quarters. The D-line doesn't look good. I know, we had a couple of guys go down, but ultimately on that 2nd and 20, Bryce Young, like the idea on those plays that you do not have a linebacker spying Bryce Young blows my mind. I don't get it. He can beat you with his legs or his arm. So why not have a guy? I mean, there was nobody there. We blitzed on the high side, and then he just took the gap right up the middle on the low side, and he was going. And he started his slide before the first down, but they didn't review it.
Right.
He was short. Man, I don't know, man. This is frustrating to watch for me. It's just a lot between the holds, and the refs, and Auburn's not playing like a clean game, but this is closer than the score is reflecting right now.
Yeah,
right.
This is a 1-score game right now.
Right. Yeah, and the narrative is about the referees because there's some blatantly missed calls. Listen, before we even got to those calls, I'm like, can we get a holding call for Derek? Like, my goodness, like he clearly got tackled on back-to-back passing plays before he got injured. He was held on the play he got injured on. Like they're literally holding Derek Hall. So the calling, the officiating has been bad. Let's get to some of the comments. We appreciate you guys watching with us. A lot of you are venting. We get it. Seth says, hands down, the worst officiating of the year. What a joke. Eric Pearson says, no one can win against UAT. Who can't stop that QB? He's getting way too much time in the pocket. We need to get after him and put his narrow butt in the ground. Auburn did go after him a few times, but he was able to escape. But Mike, you think, B. Will, you chime in, putting a spy on him is what would help keep him contained ultimately, in your opinion?
Well, we had a good call on the long run that he had on that last touchdown drive. Cam Riley was sitting in the middle of the field, and Bryce was scrambling in the pocket a little bit, looking for some room, and Cam Riley decided to rush late, and it left the entire field wide open, and he ran it 26 or however many yards he scrambled for. I put that a little bit on inexperience. It's Cam Riley's first year starting, and he's missed half of it. Yeah. That's part of what happens when you play players who haven't played in these types of games in these moments a lot. But you've got to, like, that's how we controlled this game last year. You've got to be able to get to them. It's looking like a combination of we don't have enough guys. We may be running out of bodies. And if that's the case, it's going to take something exceptional for us to get the ball back enough in the second half to close this gap. We could control the clock and run the ball. Even if we came out and executed our offense to perfection second half, we've still got to get stops, and I don't know how we're going to get it with what we've shown so far in the first half on defense.
Indeed. Tony Baker says, got to stop the turnovers and penalties. Robbie looks good, though. Mike, you mentioned him playing well. B. Will's Forehead says, can we get a little pressure on the QB?
Yeah, the D-line's not having a good game. I think that's probably the most blatant part of all this is that when we said it in the pregame, slow Bryce Young down or you have no shot.
Right.
I said it like 5 times. And they're just, if you want to let them sit back there and pick you apart, I mean, you're talking about a potential first overall pick in the NFL draft next year. Mm-hmm. You have to slow him down. You can't let him, and it can be done. Teams have done it.
We did it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm frustrated, but beside the glaring weaknesses on D-line, I'm coming back to just these guys, when they did get a stop, they got screwed.
Yeah,
twice in this game. So I wonder what the halftime speech is going to be like for Caddy. I mean, if Auburn's going to win, it's going to be the second greatest comeback in Auburn history.
It would be. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. It's going to be right under the comeback. So he's going to have to give a hell of a halftime speech to these guys. But he hasn't had a problem with morale and motivation since he's taken over as head coach. Right. So I want to see these guys come out in a fight. I mean, Bryce Young is on pace to throw for like 500 yards. You've got to find a way. I mean, the best way to stop him is to keep the ball out of his hands, run the clock, grind it out. And your defense has to get stops and get you the ball back. That's it. That's where we're at.
Ashford's run, he's had 4 carries for 61 yards. He's Auburn's leading rusher at the moment. Tank has had 41 yards on 9 carries. Jarquez has had 31 yards on 3 carries. And so There's some opportunity there to get the balls, to really grind them out, and really that's your best play is keep away, running the ball, doing it effectively. I like some of the game plan in terms of how they've gotten the ball in the hands of these guys. So I want to see some more of that in the second half for sure. In terms of Robbie, what do you want to see from him more in the second half? I love the beautiful throw he had to Javaris on that wheel route in the end zone.
That was a pro throw. That was a pro throw.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, you know, for him, protect the football, make good decisions. You know, don't put your team behind the chains. That's all he could do really in this game because, you know, they're not going to let him throw it. He's not going to come out and throw it 30 times in the second half.
Right.
He's just not. And I thought he did a good job throwing the ball away when nothing was there. Don't press, man. But this was going to have to be a team win. So if you're looking for Robbie to be Superman and bring us back in Tuscaloosa, I don't think that's fair at all. I just don't. He's not having a bad game. And when you look at his adjusted after the game, it's going to be a lot better than the percentages suggest right now.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of times he had to throw the ball away or there was just nothing there. So, you know, his legs are a part of this, which is good. Auburn needed that. They needed that to keep Bama honest on defense. So he's doing that. Listen, man, they're going to have to run for like 200 yards in the second half of this game to have a shot. Auburn's going to have to come pretty close to 350 yards in rushing. And Robbie's going to have to throw for another 150. That's the only way they stand a shot in this one. And the refs are just going to have to, you know, give their paycheck back. Wow.
Now the direct deposit already cleared. I don't know how you can. But anyway, Jazzy Joe says cheating. That was a horrible call. They want Bama in the playoffs. I'm going out and slapping the first Bama I see. Straight knock your teeth out.
Look what's happening right now. Like, listen, if USC messes up and they slip up, this is possible. Because LSU loses to Georgia, and then all of a sudden the road is cleared for them again.
Right.
To possibly sneak in this thing. I think Ohio State's out at this point. Maybe with one loss. I don't know. Like, it smells like they're trying to sneak Bama in the back end of that playoff.
I don't think a one-loss Ohio State, with their only loss being to Michigan, a Michigan team that makes it, would get left out for a two-loss Bama. I don't, but we'll see.
But their schedules are super soft, though, B. I'm telling you.
They are, but again, a lot of people are loving the Big Ten. I could see that happening this year with how Bama has looked.
All right.
Again, the loss to Tennessee doesn't look as forgivable as it once did.
I'm telling you, listen, we're going to do a special. We're going to do a War Report special if they make it in to the playoff. I don't care if I had to do it by myself. I'm coming on and I'm going to complain for 30 minutes.
Do it by
That's going to be the whole show.
Jamal Pye, number 10, got oh boy.
Yeah, Puck is
Puck is having a bad game. Yeah. He's not having a good. But again, this has been his weakness. Pass coverage has not been his strength. He's always been more effective playing closer to the line of scrimmage and then run support. His weakness is getting exposed today. That's just plain and simple. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Again, Mike, you already talked about what you want to see. B, what adjustments do you expect to see in the second half?
I don't expect to see too many adjustments offensively. I think we hurt ourselves a few times. The false starts, of course, road game, noise. Kind of expect some of that. The fumble by Jarquez on a drive where we were moving. We haven't failed to move the ball much. And that's really important because that means if we just couldn't move the ball all first half, except for a couple of really big plays, that means for the most part, what you had schemed all week isn't working. But what we had schemed is working. And that's important. So you pull out some more of that. I'm sure they have a full 4 quarters worth of plays to call and not just a half. So I expect us to move the ball. It's, again, we pregame, I was like, hey, what has to happen? Robbie's going to have to make those throws that are going to be available. He made them the first half. Not only the one to Javarius Johnson in the back corner, but also a crossing route to Quay Moore that got us down the field. Right. He's made the throws when they've been there. He has to continue to do that. But really, that defense, man, pressure. Whoever you got to put out there for pressure, man, put 13 dudes out there. Maybe they don't call it. I'm just saying. We need pressure.
They will definitely call that.
Bama got 15 on the field if you count the refs.
Yeah, we got to match up,
11
man.
on 15 on there.
Yeah, man. But again, we get to more of your guys' comments. Harvey McCreer says need to dial up more zone blitzes on defense.
They got to do something. They got to get to Bryce Young.
Lawrence Robinson says any adjustments that get made will definitely be on the defensive side. For sure. Again, and they have to figure out how to disrupt the timing, to Mike G's point, because again, if you're going to give Bryce Young all day to throw the ball, that's a losing proposition for Auburn. That's not going to work. And like I said, they haven't had to rely much on having to run the ball because they've been getting a lot of help elsewhere in this game. But definitely need to see some pressure there. Let's see. Chris Sweat says the offense is fine. Just stop the penalties. Defense has to send the house on Bryce and shake him up. He's way too comfortable in the pocket. Yeah. Christian Crawford says, I'm calling the feds on the refs. He's calling out some illegal activity. Lawrence Robinson says they sent Keontae a couple of times on the blitz and he whiffed.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Now, Bryce is good at avoiding pressure in pocket. He's good at that. He's one of the best at that, honestly. But what we are sending isn't working. Our guys are a little discombobulated on defense. So hopefully they clean it up.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. Well, we're going to get back to the second half. Definitely tune in with us, guys, when we come back and do the post game to give our thoughts on this entire game.
This post game is going to be probably one of the most interesting we've done. So you don't want to miss it.
You definitely don't want to miss that. Shout out to Prize Picks for definitely supporting our game day experience. We will definitely be back, talk about what happened in the second half. Until then, guys, War Eagle.
War Eagle.